All right, guys, before we start this video, I want to ask you one favor. If you're on a mobile device, I want you to look right down below me and scroll to the right a little bit, and you will see what's called a hype button. That is going to give me an extra boost to help share this video with other people. If you could do that, I greatly appreciate it. Now, on to the video. All right, guys, welcome back to Grow the Earth. And today, it's a nice warm day down here in the south. It looks like the winter has not stayed very long. In the past month, we went from 20s to now it's in the 70s. So it's time to get on our seed starting. And actually, we're running a little late on that. But I wanted to bring you this video to where I'm going to go over what one of the probably the best type of seed starting mix that you can make for yourself, which is probably going to outgrow most other things because this is going to have a lot more of the things that's going to help you grow good roots. It's going to be nice and airy. It's going to be fluffy. It's going to retain moisture. All the things that you want for a seed starting mix. And it's not going to be just basically ground peat moss, which is what the majority of seed starting mix is. Because you'll notice with a lot of those seed starting mixes that you buy from the store, whenever you put them in, everything looks great. And when you start watering, you'll almost notice either one, the water will run just straight through them and they'll be dry in a couple hours, or the water will almost sit on top of them and not absorb in at all, or it takes forever for that water to absorb in and then it's gone. What I've put together here is going to be a good balanced mix that's going to be able to support your plants all the way up and into the point to where you can plant out in your garden. These It's going to be a good balanced mix. It's going to have a little bit of fertilizer in it so that if you don't particularly like up potting, you won't have to. And it's going to retain the moisture and do all those nice things for you. So the first thing we have is coco coir. Now they call this coco peat, but it's pretty much the same thing. But it's very important that we get a low salt version. One thing about coco coir that is kind of unspoken about, and most people don't realize it is you can end up with coco coir that is has a lot of salt in it, and that will adversely affect the pH of your soil. And it is, if you've ever heard of salting the earth to where nothing will grow, well, if you get coco coir that has a high salt content in it, not only does it alter the pH, but it'll alter the pH so much where nothing will grow. The next thing is going to be vermiculite. Now, vermiculite is a nice natural thing that you can put in your soil, and its whole purpose is to hang on to water. This stuff turns into almost like a sponge, and it will retain the water and release it into the soil slowly. So this is always a good thing to have in your seed starting mix, and it's actually not a bad thing if you've got potted plants to put in. The next thing is going to be perlite. Now, with perlite, this is, of course, not 100% natural because it is a man-made thing, but it is made from natural minerals and so forth. But with this, you want to stay with a smaller size of vermiculite for your soil because if it gets too big, it can get in the way of your roots and so forth. But the purpose of this is actually to make your soil more airy and to have a little more air pocket in it to help those roots grow and not get waterlogged and bogged down. And then, of course, we've got a little bit of fertilizer. Now, we're not going to use a ton in this, but you do want a little bit because when those plants start growing, once they get their first set of adult leaves, they're going to need some sort of a fertilizer in order to continue to grow well. Otherwise, they will start to suffer because most seed starting mixes do not have any sort of fertilizer in them at all. And this is what they're going to need. So if you're planting small, you don't have to add this. If you're planting in the little trays and the little cubes, and you're going to up pot into some actual potting soil that has some fertilizer in it, you can skip this step. But for you guys that are going to use this in maybe some larger pots, or if you plan to grow those plants into uh, plant out stage inside of this mix, you need to add some fertilizer. This is a organic plant tone. That's the Plant Tone is the name of the company, and it is their organic, like general fertilizer version. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cocoa peat and we're going to open these up and we're going to dump them into a container. Doesn't have to be a clear one like this, but one thing that we do need to do is you'll notice that almost all of your cocoa core and your cocoa peat is going to come in a compressed block. Well, that doesn't actually bode well for what we're going to have to do next. So we need to make sure that we break this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this up. Now, the smaller the pieces, the better off you are because the faster it's going to absorb the water that we're going to have to add to it. Now, if you are, allergic to certain things, if you have issues with sneezing or so forth, you might want to get you a little mask or something because this can be quite dusty. You can see some of the dust kind of filtering off this as I'm kind of crushing it up here. Now, this is not real hard. Anyone should be able to do this with their hands. As long as you've got dexterity in your hands, you should be able to do that. Ooh, watch out for that one. And we're going to get this. Now, you're going to have some clumps. Don't worry about that. But we just want to kind of break it up into as small a piece as we can deal with at the moment. All right, so once we've got all that mixed up and we've got it separated and we've got it nice and into some smaller chunks. And again, you don't have to be very, very meticulous about it. If you've got some decent size, chunks about the size of a quarter, it's fine. But the next thing we do is we need to hydrate this stuff. And I'm going to tell you that take this step very slow because this stuff is going to absorb a lot of water. But if you give it too much water, you're going to have a soupy mess, and there's not really any good way to take the water back out. So we're going to keep adding water until we get a nice moist mix of this. Now, what I mean by moist is whenever you pick it up and kind of give it a squeeze, it feels wet, but you don't get any water out of it. We don't want it wet to where water is coming out of this mix, because if it is that moist, then we will have issues with mold and so forth, and you will have issues with the fact that once you put these other elements in here, it will take quite a while to dry out. Now again, take this slow, take it in steps. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. You will notice that it will start bulking up in size as we go. It will start to get nice and big and kind of fluffy. And you see how this is kind of sticking to my hands a little bit? That's because it's moist now. We've got a little bit of water in it. And it's going to be a nice mix to hold on to some water and to hold the nutrients and to hold this vermiculite and this perlite that we're going to put in next. So again, pick it up, give it a squeeze. We really don't want to see any water come out. And we're not. We're just about right here. There are a couple little dry spots in here, and we're going to work through those. So now that we got it all mixed up, and again, this should almost feel like a wet cloud. It shouldn't really have any tough spots in it or anything. It should be very nice and moist. And again, you shouldn't be able to squeeze any water out of it. And it'll pretty much hold a shape whenever you squeeze it. We're at the perfect moisture level for this stuff. Now, the next thing we're going to add is we're going to add our vermiculite. Well, pretty much equal parts of the cocoa core equal parts of vermiculite with equal parts of perlite. So all that is now mixed together. Now, when you start mixing this stuff in, you may have to add a little bit more water to it because the vermiculite is basically going to suck most of the moisture out of this cocoa core. And you'll kind of feel it starting to kind of dry out a little bit because that vermiculite is going to soak that stuff up. So we're going to add a little more water to it. And again, as you're adding water, you need to remember we can't never go back, but we can always go forward. You can always add more, but you never take any out. Kind of like adding salt or pepper to a recipe, you know, or adding sugar or anything else. Once you put it in, it's there. But as long as we take a measured approach to it, we mix it in a little bit at a time, it will eventually get to the point to where we want it and where we like it. All right, so now that we've added that water, our kind of soft cloud is kind of gone because vermiculite can hold on to an extremely large amount of water. So your soft cloud is going to get kind of heavy. You're still not going to be able to squeeze out any water, but it's going to get a little bit heavier. And you're going to feel that that mix is not going to be, you know, so airy. You know, it's not going to be like a soft cloud anymore, but it'll still feel like a very light mix. And again, when we squeeze it, it holds a shape, but we don't get any water out of it. And for our very last ingredient, we're going to add a dusting of our fertilizer to it. You can add what you want, but I would stress to stay to an organic fertilizer so that it breaks down slowly over time. Because I have noticed that fertilizers, especially on small plants or on plants that are trying to to start out from a seed, if you put any kind of a fertilizer on them that is not an organic slow release, that it can tend to stunt them and tend to make them kind of almost encourage root rot. So now we've gone through all of our steps. We've got our cocoa core with vermiculite, with perlite, and with a little bit of fertilizer. And guys, this is going to be the secret for you to get nice, strong plants coming out of your greenhouse, or well, actually wherever you're going to be growing your little small seeds from. If you've got that on a south facing window, if you've got them in a greenhouse, you got them on your patio that's kind of shaded, wherever that may be, this is going to give you a nice starting medium to start your plants in from seed. And you can actually keep them in this all the way up and until you put them out in your garden. So guys, as always, I thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something today. If you did, right over here in the corner, I want you to like and subscribe. I want you to share it to your friends on Facebook or on Instagram or wherever it may be. I'm on all those platforms. And as always, I ask you to pray over your family, pray over your garden, and have a great day.